Today's lesson is all about walking rates, or otherwise known as speed. You should have remembered this from your science class, but speed is defined as a ratio of amount of distance covered over the amount of time it takes to travel that distance. So we're going to talk about students and how fast or slow they walk. We have student number 1 is our first example. Student number 1 walks at a constant rate of 3 feet per second. So remember that. Student number 2 walks at a constant rate of 5 feet per second. The elapsed time and the distance walked for each student vary. Okay, and what's key in this whole point is, once we define the variables, where we put those variables in a table and where those labels are on our graph do matter. Okay, so one of these two things, either the time or the distance walked, is dependent on the other. So in other words, we can't answer the question to one of these answers if we don't know the other one. For in this example, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, between what's a dependent variable and what's an independent variable, which is the focus of today's lesson. So going forward with the rest of the examples, T will be the number for time in seconds that students are walking. D will be the number of the distance a student walks, and the unit of measure will be in feet. The double number line below shows how the variables T and D vary together. This will probably be the last lesson, unless some independent practice, using a double number line to picture what's happening. Okay, so notice how the intervals are spaced. We have student 1 walking 3 feet every 1 second, and this little interval is a little bit longer here because student 2 actually walks 2 feet further in the same amount of time. So that's why these spaces in the interval are look a little different for student 2. The question I'd like you to think about here is what they have in the number line. They've used whole numbers. After 1 second, student 1 walks 3 feet. After 2 seconds, student 1 walks 6 feet, etc. Student 2 covers 5 feet of distance after 1 second, covers 10 feet of distance after 2 seconds, and 15 after 3. Now they've only used whole numbers in the number line, but can time, can they be whole numbers? Yes, but I'd like you to think about this one. Could this number line also be numbered using fractions or decimals between the whole numbers? When two variables are related, we can often think of one as the dependent variable and the other as the independent variable. It is very important to establish which of your two variables falls under which definition. The distance a student can walk depends on the amount of time they get to walk. So therefore, the distance depends on the time the student gets to walk. So in a graph, whatever you decide to be the independent variable, it can stand alone. It doesn't matter what the other variable is doing. That label, that unit of measure, has to be your x-axis when we graph. In other words, your horizontal line of your coordinate graph. The y-axis is where your dependent information goes. Think of it as this, that y-axis cannot stand alone. It relies on the x-axis being put in place, so it depends on the x-axis. So that is the label or the title of your y-axis in our coordinate graph. Also, please note too, some information here. It's also the left side of our table, and the y information is on the right column of our table. This is very crucial to recognize these two pieces of information as we go forward, writing equations and making graphs and making tables. Okay, so these two are very important skills to master. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm going to, and we'll complete a table for each student. I have completed the table for student 1 and for student 2 based on the information at the start of this video, also using the number line to help me. At 0 seconds, of course, the student hasn't covered any distance. After 1 second, student 1 goes off 3 feet and student 2 travels 5 feet in distance. Now, this is going to cause a little flashback here, I'm hoping, and these are our linking tables. What links these two students together is the time factor. They are both being measured in time and seconds, and the only thing that separates them is how far each one walks. So taking a look at these questions based on this table, using our table, we're going to write an equation relating the amount of time that goes off on the clock and how far each student walks. So how do we write an equation? We're going to write our equation, and we're going to start with, because distance depends on how much time a student gets to walk, we're going to start our equation with the distance variable, okay? And what comes in here is you're going to put a number here. It's going to be a coefficient. And what you need to look for, and you can find this number in a few spots. In our table, you can find that coefficient where the x variable, our tables always go at x, y. This is where you find the coefficient. Okay, when x is 1, what is the value for the y value or the column in the right side column? And in student 1, that is 3. Here for student 2, when x is 1, or on the left column of your table, find the value for 1, and the coefficient is, when x is 1, what is the value for y? And so the coefficient is here. The other thing is to find that number, that's the unit rate. So this also goes back to chapter 1 that we studied in October and November. The other thing is what's the relationship? How are we going? What's the multiplier from this number times what equals this one? And it has to be the same number. And if you notice, that number is 3 going down the table, as long as this table is going by ones. Even if it didn't go by ones, as long as it follows that pattern, that the left column value multiplied by the same factor gives you the answer in the right side column. In this case, that multiplier is 5. Okay, the number of seconds multiplied by 5 tells me the distance the student walked. And notice where that shows up in my equation. It is the coefficient. So in other words, I can figure out the distance for student 1 if I take 3 times the number of seconds. For student 2, I can calculate the student's distance if I take 5 times the number of seconds student 2 gets to walk. We're not going to take time to graph because I don't know how to put a graph into this Ed Puzzle practice, but I do want to talk about this. If you're graphing from a table, remember the left side of the table is your first move to the right from 0, and your second move is up from that point, and then you plot your point. This is also another very important question. So far, I'm guessing that you have probably, if you've ever made a line graph or a coordinate graph, if you've ever plotted points, you probably connected them. Okay, so, but this is an important question. Does it make sense to connect the points? Because some of our situations, some of our story problems, you shouldn't connect the points. How do we know? It goes back to that first question of, can the time value, the independent variable, go back to this question here. Can they be fractions or decimals? If you answer yes, so like in other words, could I find how far student 2 walks after 1.5 seconds? Even though that's not a point I put on the number line, even though it's not a point in the table, it's not a value in my table, could I find the distance in fractional seconds? And if you can answer yes to that question, If I can record fractional values or decimal values, then you should connect the points. Okay, drawing unit rate triangles, again, this goes back to, remember, a unit rate triangle is after you've graphed your points. If you can draw steps from one point to the next point on your table, and you can only go over one square, and then you would go up the height of that coefficient. So for student 1, you would go out over 1 up 3 to plot all your points. For student 2, that unit rate triangle would be over 1 up 5. Okay, so every time 1 second goes off the clock, the student goes 5 distance, okay? And then these would be points on your graph. And that goes back to, again, to unit 1 that we studied in late October and early November, unit rate triangles. How is each student's walking rate related to the graph? I'm just going to give you an answer to this question. Determine which student, okay? The student that's walking faster, the graph, the line will be steeper. So if student 2 is walking farther in the same amount of time, so their points are going to be higher up on the graph than student 1, and therefore that's how they are related. Their rates are how far up they go, how far up they go up on the steps. That's how they're related. And that shows up in a coefficient in our equations. Okay, now we have a third student. Student 3 walks at a constant rate of 4 feet per second. I will fill in the number line, so if 0 seconds go off, every time 1 second goes off the clock, ticks off the clock, the student travels 4 feet, 2 seconds, 8 feet. I'm adding 4 each time to each second. Okay, complete the table at the right for student 3. Okay, I paused the video here and just wrote in some notes so you don't have to wait for me to fill it in. Here's the double number line, 4 feet every 1 second of time. So if 4 seconds go off the clock, the student number 3 has walked 16 feet. Complete the table at the right for student 3, 0 feet. I can see how it's gone up 4 feet or further 4 feet every 1 second. Write an equation. I've highlighted where to find that coefficient. You can figure out these answers by multiplying this answer times the unit rate. You find that unit rate or that coefficient where this answer is 1. So I can calculate a student's distance. So I always start with this column variable first in my equation. And then I'm going to put a coefficient here or a number. It can be a whole number, it can be a fraction, it can be a decimal. Okay, so and I find that in where this is 1, and I'm going to put 4 here, and I multiply it by these values. So and that variable, this column's variable is D. So you always start with this variable, and you find these answers. That's why the equal sign comes in, by multiplying these numbers by the unit rate. That's where you find the coefficient. And number 9, Seth says he can use the double number line to find the distance. Explain how he might do this. I drew in here, I found 2.5 seconds on the number line, and which is halfway to 3 seconds. And this total distance is 4 feet, so I divided that in half, which is 2 feet. So in half a second, you can travel 2 feet. Add it to the 8 feet he's already traveled for a total of 10 feet in 2.5 seconds. Be sure you read the information in the situation very carefully. So far, the first 3 students, we were giving their unit rates in terms of how far they could walk in 1 second. We were given student 4's information, 7 feet every 2 seconds. That is not the unit rate. So to make this double number line, I had to take the distance given to me and divide it by the number of seconds to figure out the unit rate. In other words, the unit rate for student 4 can walk 3.5 feet in 1 second. You can see how I figured out 3.5. 7 divided by 2 gives me 3.5 for every 1 second of time. Multiply by 4, I get 14 feet after 4 seconds.